As for fun facts on the African Mooney, there are none. Wikipedia's got nothing. Other websites about how to keep them in aquariums really have no prevalent information that's worth communicating in this fun facts. It's just like pH levels and stuff. They're taller than they are long. That's the funnest fact about them. They're usually like 15 centimeters. The biggest ones get to 25 centimeters long. They range from eastern Atlantic waters to the Canary Islands. They're in the mangrove swamps. They're in lagoons. Seriously, this is it. That's the Wikipedia article. Monodactylius sebai. I just thought it was a fantastically unique looking fish. And the body style might lend well to being a lipless crankbait with jointed fins. And I've never made one of those before, so here we go. Fun facts never started, so they're not over. Time to pop one loose. It's moving. This is gonna be one of those. We put all of the weight, possibly even a weight transfer thing. The shape of this might lend well to some bearings coming up back here and then falling down there once it hits the water. All right, here's a template that I cut out with scissors. Look how long the lead is on that. Impressive, huh? I love sanders to sharpen pencils. Should be the standard. All right, this African Mooney is gonna have 2 balls. These are the largest balls I got, 7/16. I'm gonna go with a 12 millimeter Forstner bit for those radiuses. I like to really establish this stuff before going over to the drill press. It's best to not need forgiveness from the drill press. So I need to do one of these things and really abide by that line. Yeah. I don't want to go deeper than that. I want to be able to see the line the whole time. I'm not going to scrub it off. I think it's squeezing it when I close that. Okay, I need to make the line go away, dang it. Okay, now it's loose. Let me check both of them. Right. You know what? Why didn't I just drill another hole in the middle? Silly, silly, silly bait maker. I think sometimes I just like the carving. Weight transfer, cool. I know I got a lot of hand meat right there, right in the direction I'm pushing this little chisel, but I'm just pretty confident right now. Beautiful. These are going to be some slots that jointed fins go into. There's no joint in the body of this bait, but these 3 are going to be jointed. I suppose that's a suitable depth. I went a little too far, but that's what super glue and baking soda is for. Patched it. Okay, I need to glue this up with its balls in it. Oh, duh. Well, let's add the weight. Gonna drill a big hole right there and probably one up here. It's gonna be a complete guess when it comes to how much lead I put in this. I want it to sink just as hard as any other lipless crankbait sinks. It's time to engage the bait maker's intuition. Just making some marks. That'll remind me how deep this lead is, exactly where it is and where to stay away from. That's probably healthy, you know. That is a substantial amount of lead, along with 2 big steel balls. I think that should be enough. Yeah, that feels about right. And the balls aren't even in it. Oh yeah. How exciting. I can glue it up now. Tight bond. I left a stick in there. Perfect. Genius. Just leave a stick in the bottle. Use another one to help apply. Hopefully this glue doesn't mind a little bit of heat, because I did not wait for that lead to cool down. Need to get that glue to all the extremities and all the edges, but away from that slot, man. You don't want to glue those balls, because they just don't move when you do that. Okay, we're gonna drop them in and close it up. Good luck, African Mooney. We got it clamped. I think of all the baits that I've made, using this technique, I'm going to need to be the most careful with this one. To not run into those cavities, especially the weight chamber. It goes all the way back. So the next morning, I just let Chip out. The balls are free and it's all glued up. We're ready to carve it out. This is gonna be an uncomfortable thing to cut. A lot to watch out for. Just carefully sand the rest. I think all we're going to need to do is get the chamfers to bring those edges to a more narrow point and leave the body chunky. That is what it looks like when a dull blade cuts into Tupelo. That's the one thing about Tupelo. Dull blades are unacceptable. That's crazy. With Tupelo wood, that's completely against the grain. Like all the grains going straight that way. And you can just send a knife through it and pry that grain up, but it doesn't split before it cuts. It always just cuts. Tupelo wood is like a godsend for lure makers. God was like, here you go. Just make sure you got a sharp knife, son. If you're able to get just like 3 twists of a twist wire connection into a pilot hole, it really is strong. I don't even know if that's going to be load bearing though. I might put a hook hanger off of that fin, or I might put it off of somewhere down here on the wood. I haven't decided. You probably already know from the thumbnail. That was 17. I don't need 17. I think I need 12. This is an Allen key. I usually use this one, none others. It's like the perfect size. They're hardened steel too, so they can take some abuse. I like getting that wire nice and tight too, so you get as many turns as possible into those tiny pilot holes. Okay. That is an awful lot to cut off. You got like 4 wraps in there. That's enough. That is just what it needs to be. It's in there. I still have all of the spine details and stuff to carve, but I like getting this step out of the way because it's pretty meticulous. I'm gonna use a 14mm bit. But yeah, look at, you can see where I scored. That's how tight it's gonna be. I think it'll look good in the end though. Big eyes on baits like these, you know, make you wanna do chef kisses. All right, we got him in there. No sanding required. That was a smooth fin right there. Hopefully the other one goes just as good. Yes, that went just as well. I got a bit more gill carving to do, and then we're gonna get right to sealing the wood. So I installed these. Just cut those to the correct length, friction fitted that stuff. These move. I'm catching the vibe of this thing pretty strong right now, and it's a good one. This is a delightful little bait. This is crazy. So even if that hook is hitting this fin, that's just gonna cause noise. It's not gonna cause issues, I don't think. Noise is fine. I'm definitely gonna have it horizontal like that though. Those are pretty well hidden. I'd put the tail in, but it doesn't stay. How freaking sick is that, bro? I'm pretty confident in the action right now. I kept the head right there pretty flat, slightly water catching. I'm confident we're gonna have that. Okay, let's seal the wood. Sometimes I think there just has to be a better solution to chip brushes, but I'm not complaining. is this the best humanity has to offer? Gotta make sure those balls rattle. Don't want to lose the rattle. If I'm really unfortunate, some of this polyurethane could seep into that weight transfer chamber and get those balls to stick to the sides somehow. That would be unfortunate. It's happened to me before. So I don't go that heavy on these types of baits with the polyurethane. I never dip them. I just make sure to get full coverage. Pretty clean. Okay, I'm just gonna jump into this. I think the first color to put on this African Mooney, I got a picture up there, is light blue, here-ish. I just got done painting this. And I could not be happier with that. I don't know how I'm gonna, like, that is so good. That was a side project. Sometimes those are the best projects. Some subtle blue. I'm not gonna go to chartreuse. I'm gonna keep it detail yellow. We don't need to be that bright, but essentially along the lateral line. And these fish have a very round, tall lateral line. Goes the yellow. Way too bright to just be left like that though. The most prominent color on this fish is not an exciting one, it's gray. So the blue and the yellow are gonna get a dose of gray. I need to stop spitting colors at this bait. When you open up your airbrush and then give it air, you can spit droplets like that just under the fin there. Not ideal. I'm gonna give that yellow some tan. It's a pretty nicely blended base. Some lime green, I'm pretty sure, needs to go on the forehead. Man, I'm super tempted to follow that lateral line with a little bit of this color. Just indications, it wasn't like a defined thing. Beautiful, let's brighten this up with some scales. So there's no wrapping mesh around this and clamping it like normal scales. I have opaque white in the airbrush, and we're gonna spray it over this mesh while it's laid down with my fingers. And we're not gonna put so much on it to where it's opaque, but we're just gonna brighten it up. There, you can kind of tell that there are scales. The scales on these fish are really muddy like that. And then pearl white back over that, make everything look shiny. Everything is shiny. Here comes part where there is no room for air. Those black lines. And there's a skinny one that curves a little bit too. And then there's like a big bowed one that even goes into those fins. It goes like that. And it's the thickest. Dude, I'm scared to do this one. One right there too. That looks pretty ridiculous, but that's the idea. That's gonna go right there. And having that black right there will make sense with that line. Same with that one. It's gonna go like that. Okay, I didn't mess up. That's their weird pattern. There's a big space in the middle usually for that silver. I'm greedy, I wanted more. I felt like there wasn't enough, so I did that. Letting that blue get kind of serious. It's there on the real fish, so. Now all that these fins are gonna get is a wipe on and a rub off of Detail Smoke Black. Maybe a brush on and a wipe off, let's say that. I just wanna see what a little bit of pearl white looks like when I do the same thing. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. We're gonna do that too. Little bit of pearl white. Sparkly spines. That'll be beautiful. I'm glad I tried that. Can you see how it's sparkly in the spines? That looks great. Can you see the sparkles? I'm showing you every single one because I'm pretty proud of that. It looks so good. Okay, we're ready to put an eye on now. Clear coat's coming. Okay, that fits perfect. Those are a 14. Should I just use those? Yeah, that is the most matching eye. Yeah, other than not having the bar that runs through, that is a perfect match. Sweet. African Mooney. And all that fin's gonna be is carved. There's not gonna be any special paint over it because they got like crystal clear side fins too. We're ready for clear coat. Well, I gotta sign it. How am I gonna sign this? Oh, I wanted to do a little bit of pearl wine over that black too. Here come all the tiny details that I usually don't show. Just useless things that only satisfy me. That's a great, pearl wine is just a great color. Kind of looks like that's been scraping the bottom too much in the right light. I didn't even test how well this thing sinks before I painted it. We're just gonna see tomorrow. Nice and transparent. Hopefully that clicks as it shakes. Well, hopefully it shakes in the first place, you know? Didn't really test that. Gonna go with 2 size 2 BKK Spear EWG hooks. I'd say if something tries to bite this, there's a good chance it's getting hooked up. There is the finished lipless crankbait with jointed fins African Mooney Lure. Oddly striking. Okay. 2.5 ounce. Oh, I just hit the fan. Time to see if and how it wiggles. All right, does it sink? Yes. Does it swim? Yes. Let's make sure you guys get a good look at this. It really is a body roll with a wobble. That is all right. I'd say that's unique. Wow, it leaves a bubble trail. Definitely not the most consistent lipless crankbait action I've ever gotten out of a bait. Once in a while, it'll kind of be erratic, but it is not difficult to get to wobble. Good enough for me. Let's fish. Whoa, I just threw it at a steel wall. Did you guys hear that? Is it broke? No, we're good. It's all good. Well, I went home. It's still February in Iowa here, you know. Not that it's not possible, but it's such a substantial amount of fishing demoralization when it's February in Iowa and fish just don't bite, so I went home. Confidence in this bait's high though. When the time's right, I get a bass to bite this no problem. Probably a pike early morning and some good spots, some river backwaters. I ran into an issue with the 2-part epoxy clear coat. Do you see that blister right there? You can move it. It's like a bubble. It is on the other side in the same spot as well. I think it might be uncured, like super glue, too much super glue in there. Lead, air between the 2 halves of lead. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I don't know why it's blistering right there, but I did use that new primer. I never used that before, and that happened with this, so maybe it's the primer. Regardless, I'm gonna hang on to it and catch a fish with it later, so look forward to that. Thank you for watching. Video's over. On to the next bait. Said bye. Impressive, huh? Time to pop one loose. Oh. The sparkles? How freaking sick is that, bro?
Not ideal.
You don't want to glue those balls.
Whoa.
Is this the best humanity has to offer?